Hi everyone from Giaco. After living over a decade in Finland, I decided to help building a bridge between the English-speaking people living in Finland and the local community. Listen to my podcast to discover the most interesting and incredible people from Finland and to dig into Finnish culture and controversial issues that impact all of us in our daily life. And now sit back and enjoy listening. Bye! Hi everyone. The following is a conversation with the freediver Johanna Nordblad. With her, we talk about her life, how she became a world record owner, and about her Netflix documentary. She's a wonderful and humble person that turned a life accident into a career and a world prize. She's inspiring and genuine. It was a pleasure to get to know her. Please enjoy. Hi Johanna, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. So thank you for coming here. I wanted to have a chat with you because I think you are an exceptional person for the achievement you have had in your life, for this some part of the story of this achievement, some difficulties you had to overcome, and for this typical Finnish sisu that I can see in your story. So can you please tell something really fast about you, like who you are? And then we dig deeper because we are talking about depth and we are talking about diving. Tell us something about you and let's discover who are you.
I'm Johanna Nordblad. I'm a freediver and I have been freediving since 2000. So quite a long time.
Yeah.
And the newest thing is that the cold water thing.
Exactly.
And I think that's why I'm here.
Yes, some extra spice on that. So how old were you when you started freediving?
I don't know, 20 and something.
Okay, so how did it happen? Did you just wake up one day and say like, what about if I do it? How did you?
No, I was in a scuba diving instructor course.
Yes.
Yes, and my instructor said that they are planning to have a freediving, what is that?
Course?
No, like a kind of association,
association.
seura,
Okay,
society.
Yes,
Yes, and they need one person more because they need at least 3.
Okay, yes.
So I thought that, what, freediving? I never heard. So I tried that, holding my breath in the swimming pool and
you liked it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like I came up and I thought I never have to scuba dive anymore because this is
Okay. What is so exciting about it? Is it the challenge? Is it because it's just you? Can you now, after 23 years, can you say like what is exactly the kick that you get in working on your breath and breathing and diving?
I think the main thing is that it's like a walking. It's so natural. It's so like normal. There is like nothing. It's the same that I'm going to swim, but I don't have to learn how to swim. It's like walking.
Is it some kind of a meditative?
Yeah, when you do it like a long breath holds and or you know what you are doing, then automatically you're relaxed.
Yeah, and does your brain also walk away from your life, your daily stress, and you're just there present in the moment?
Yeah, and a little bit more than a normal sport, because if I'm like driving a motocross, I don't think about my work. But in the freediving, it's like because there happens that your body starts to save oxygen. So part of that is that it's shut down part of the brain. So it's very meditative.
Yeah.
And easy. It's a meditation for the lazy person.
I don't think you are lazy because, of course, I guess there is a lot of preparation and training behind all your achievements that we will talk about. But it is a practice anyway. It is not.
Yeah, it's a practice if you want to do something like records or go to the limits. But everybody can freedive.
Yeah.
So it's like a natural ability for everyone.
And so you started almost kind of like you launched yourself, you throw yourself into this adventure without really understanding like what could it be. Did you start then also teaching and practicing? Could you practice in Finland? Did you go just in swimming pools, or did you go also on the sea, or how did it go?
Of course, there is a lot of practicing. I started like any other sport, like
Small steps.
small steps, yes. And it was because we were the first freediving society in Finland. There was not very many persons, so the first year we went to the World Championships.
You started with a big bang.
Yeah. That was my first competition actually in freediving. So when I went there and I saw all the people around the world like really training and listen their stories, it was the main thing I started.
Yeah, it was
with.
fascinating.
Yeah, it was, and they were diving very deep. I thought so then, but
but that was happening somewhere in the sea.
Yes, it was in Nice.
Yeah. Okay. It is an extremely dangerous sport. Am I correct?
Not really.
Okay.
Yes.
Because anyway, of course, it depends if you stretch yourself to the limit and if you try to go to the limit. But as you were saying, parts of your body, the lack of oxygen makes your body shut down some parts of your body.
No, not the lack of the oxygen, the diving reflex.
Okay, what is it, the diving reflex?
First, I will say why I think it's not like I always give the example of that. If I'm going to fly a helicopter, it's extremely dangerous.
I see your point.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
But if you learn what happens, what physiological things you have to take care of, then it's not very dangerous.
Or you limit the risks.
Yes, there is risks, but when you know the risks, you never
cross them.
Cross. Then you have to think what kind of risk you want to take or not to take.
So what did you learn to mitigate, to limit the risks? What did you learn about the physiology, or like what happens to your body? What did you do to get kind of calm and relax with it?
I think the basic thing is how the body works and also the diving reflex. It's that
Tell
the
us.
common mistake of thinking about it. It's like people say often to me that I don't understand, Johanna, how can you hold your breath like 6 minutes? Because after 30 seconds they get the feeling that they run out of oxygen.
Yeah.
And the main thing is to understand that the run out of the oxygen doesn't feel anything. We don't have anything that measures that in our body.
Okay.
And the feeling you get, obviously you get a feeling when you hold your breath, but it comes from the, what is that?
It's CO2.
Yes.
Yeah, CO2. Yeah.
Yes, CO2. So when the CO2 level goes up, your body understands that now you are holding your breath, and it starts to save the oxygen, and that's the diving reflex. Like your body calms down, your heartbeat
slows
down, and all kind of things happens.
Yes, but then that is like, then you still put that to a limit and you stress it.
Yeah.
So does because anyway there are also documentaries about this and books about breathing and diving, and I happened to read one where actually was talking about free divers and how breathing, it's how do we breathe now, it's important breathing for our performances, how important it is to breathe through the nose. And it was talking about the divers, that they are anyway the people that can hold the breath for longest. And so this guy went to understand like how divers breathe and what is their strategy and how do they train, and exactly what's coming out is that your body has to be comfortable, and you have to learn to manage this panic reaction that your body has that wants more oxygen, because you are not used to the CO2 level in your body. So you have to little by little get accustomed to the fact that your body is telling you do this, because it tells you like open the mouth, but then you have you have to know that like, okay, it's all fine. I mean, it's just a basic reflex that I have, but it's all good. But when do you know that it's actually good? And this guy was saying that divers sometimes they faint, or you know, they just lose control, or they become mad, they start swimming in the wrong direction. So there are it affects the brain and the way you can clearly think. Do you recognize this? Do you think this is what I'm thinking, like a risk?
That's maybe some people go more to the limits.
Sure.
Yes, and the safest place, if someone wants to hold their breath and try how long, I recommend going to the competitions because there are like the good safety divers and doctors and
if something happens.
Yes, if something happens, because when you lose your conscious, when you're holding your breath, it's like it's not kind of a big thing if you have a person who can help you. So it's like more like a fainting, a little fainting.
Yeah.
And but there is also you have to learn how everything feels. You know, you have to be comfortable. You have to do it like a little by little.
Step by step, so you learn how your body reacts.
Yeah, and when you learn how it reacts, it means that you are comfortable with that.
Did you ever faint?
Once in my first competition, because I made a mistake, like every beginner's mistake, because I didn't come up when I was supposed to.
You put it like this. Oh, well,
because I made I thought that it goes like, okay, I have been like 5 minutes in a training, so I don't come up before 5 minutes, which is the stupid thing like to do.
Because you had to go back up then, or what was it, the situation? Were you diving deep or that?
No, it was like a static breath holding.
Okay.
So I was there and I didn't feel good, and I have to like to force myself and never do that. Because like in a courses, I always say that holding your breath is allowed only when you want to. If you have to force yourself, there is a reason. And then you have to come up.
So you think your body gives you clear signs that you are reaching the limit?
Yes.
Okay. And you learn to understand what these signs are?
Yes.
What are these signs in you? Because I dive.
Yes.
And I free dive, not professionally, just because I've always done it in my life. I've always been spearfishing and going down and getting fishes or other animals from the sea. And I can go down even 15 meters and hold my breath for 3 minutes. So I'm a bit maybe over average in that sense. But still, I cannot say when the real limit is.
And when you go in the deep, you have to go back.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you go down, you have to go back up. Of course, the up, it's always faster because, I don't know, for me it's always faster in a way, maybe. But I don't know why I have this concept. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm in a rush to go back to oxygen.
Don't do that.
So it feels in my head, so I guess I have stretched my my limit in the sense that I can stand the CO2 maybe better, also because I have an app that I used to train always before the summer, so I try to get used to it and get back into that mood before summer. But still, I always wondered, like, and I know, because I know it is stupid if you are home alone and you try to hold your breath and you try to push the limit, because if you faint, who helps you? So I've never done that. But how does it feel for you when you're almost going to the limit? What is the feeling you get? Do you get dizzy, like a bit?
Not kind of dizzy. The first it goes like that. That first it doesn't feel like anything. Then it starts to feel, and I can feel it in my diaphragm.
Yes. Yeah.
And I can feel the carbon dioxide feeling. And then the feeling goes bigger, and there comes little small other feelings.
Did you get tingles or?
No, not kind of that. It's very between like my diaphragm and in my
neck.
Neck.
Yeah, so in the lungs.
Yes. Yeah. And of course there is, if I'm moving, like in a dynamic apnea, I can also feel that is there like a lactic acid?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You can't. You get the feelings of those. And but it's the most difficult part, like in a competition, because it feels a lot before you have to come up. So the most difficult part is to know when you really have to come up. But it's kind of I can feel that I really have to concentrate all those feelings. And then I'm the slowest diver in the world. And that's not a joke, I am.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Someone can go much more further, like in
down.
In the distance.
In the distance, okay.
Yeah. I'm not very good in a deep diving.
Yeah, okay.
But what I was saying. But anyway, I have to slow down, and then everything goes so slow that I know that.
Okay.
And now I have to come up.
And when you feel these kind of things, or what do you think when you go down? Because do you start, at least if I go down and I try to keep my breath or try to measure my breath, like with the stopwatch, at one point I tell to myself, this is how it supposed to feel. This is just this CO2, or like, okay, this is okay. I kind of like talk to myself to calm down. Do you have a moment in which like you start to talk to yourself and say like, okay, we have still 2 minutes to go. I'm fine still for 2 minutes. Do you talk to yourself?
Sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if I go just for diving, I don't have to talk to myself. But I have been in a competition, like a static apnea. After 1 minute, it doesn't feel good. but I can't come up because, Yes, but of course in the competitions. But it's always a different thing that if you just go for diving and then in a competition, because then you are kind of forced to do what you have planned earlier.
How do you manage the competition situation? Because if people are stressed, the heartbeat goes faster, you consume more oxygen. Does it affect anyhow the environment when you go there diving? I mean, do you have to meditate before?
Yes, kind of. Yes.
Calm down.
It's good. Yeah, calm down. Sometimes I'm nervous, sometimes not. But it's part of the preparation. Like there is the countdown, like 2 minutes countdown before the start. So it's normally...
What do you do in the countdown? Because anyway, you have to store inside your body as much oxygen as you can, right before going.
Not really.
Okay.
Because there is like the breathing is very important, because the breathing is affects the level of the carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Yes. So the carbon dioxide is our friend.
It's our friend.
Yes, it's our friend, because when your carbon dioxide, if you can handle the high carbon dioxide levels, then there is a lot of physiological things that diving reflex is bigger, So your body saves more oxygen, and also like the oxygen goes out of your blood easier, and things like that.
And this is part of the training, because you have to adapt your body to work in that way.
No, not really, but I have to be comfortable with the feeling. So now when we have a too big oxygen varasto, what is varasto?
Well, like warehouse, but in storage.
Yeah, storage. Yeah. Like in our lungs.
Yes.
And in our blood.
Yes.
So in our blood, our oxygen saturation is always like almost 100%. So it's like a full all the time already.
Yeah.
So if we breathe more, we can't have more oxygen in our body.
Okay, you cannot add it.
Yeah, no. So if we breathe too much, then we just breathe out of the carbon dioxide. And when the carbon dioxide levels go down, then when we hold our breath, our body doesn't recognize that we are diving, so it doesn't start the diving reflex. So it doesn't start to save the oxygen. So in the competition, especially when you are moving, it's very important not to breathe too much, because we are more like trying that the feeling comes as early as possible and as big as possible.
Your body sets already that process.
So then our body saves the most oxygen.
It goes in the saving oxygen mode. So do you hold your breath, and you hold your breath a little before, in this 2 minutes before the dive? How do you handle your breathing exercise?
It's different in a different disciplines. Like in a static apnea, when we are not using that oxygen because we are not kind of working, we are just lying there. Then I do the breath hold preparations. But like in a dynamic apnea, where you go the distance, then I don't do nothing.
You make it sound so easy.
I just jump there. No, I concentrate the most, because in the free diving, like I think in other sports too, but in the free diving you cannot try to read like something what you have done in the training. The main focus for me have to be always that whatever happens, how many mistakes I do, I try to make the best dive as I can in this day, kind of. Like so I try to concentrate that I'm trying to do my best.
In this moment.
In this moment. So if I do mistakes, it doesn't matter, because it's part of the dive, and then I try to do my best with that mistake.
Yeah. It is something interesting, because anyway, your body and how you are mentally, how your body is, it's not always 100%.
No.
And this
not
is
always, never.
Never, exactly. And this is so obvious, but when you think about high performance people, or even like Olympics, or you that you have 3 world records, if I am correct. Anyway, there is a moment in which you go to do that, and you don't know actually how you are, if you are at the top or not. You can prepare, you can do whatever, then you might have a stomach bug the day, and then it's kind of like screwed. You cannot do anything. So it's true. It is meditative, but it's also quite smart that you accept the situation as it is, and at the best you can.
Because there are a lot of people who thinks that doing the best performance is that everything goes like perfect. And if there is something goes wrong, they can't kind of perform, because they give up, because it's already like
but this is smart. This is quite a exceptional attitude, I think.
Because I always make so many mistakes. I have to deal with that.
You are humble, but you still have world records on your shoulders. So I guess that it works. It works, and it worked out pretty well.
But it's because everyone else are kind of lazy persons.
But that's why you have the sisu here that we're talking about. You have this determination to anyway do it, and there are many years of preparation, even if you make it sound so easily. But so you became an instructor of freediving.
Yes.
And you had this association that was quite new, and I guess also like growing. What it's required to become a freediver, a teacher?
No, I have to think about this because
Is there an international?
yeah.
Is there an international association? You know, like for example, isn't it that if you scuba dive, there is this you have to make courses, the PADI, and there is an association that declares what to do. Is it also for freediving?
Yeah, and for freediving there is kind of two big associations.
Yeah.
There is that IDA from France.
Yeah.
Doing only the freediving.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there is that CMAS, which does all the diving things.
Okay.
But yes, I went to the instructor course after my first competition in 2000 when I started.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of courses, and then after 5 years I went again to the instructor course, and then again after a couple of years. But I really started to teach freediving like maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
6, I can't remember. There was the Corona years, so
yeah.
My calculation is not.
Everyone has lost some years over here and there. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Some shutdown. But do you have a school here in Helsinki or where?
Yes, I have. Basically, I have school here in Helsinki, and we go to the sea. But the courses I keep in Otaniemi or in Veikkola, Kirkkonummi.
Yeah.
That
in pools.
Yeah, in a pool.
Yeah. Is it a sport that many people follows and want to do? How big of a crowd do you have? Is it something well known in Finland or not?
I think it's quite known, and the problem here have been that every free divers and instructor have the same problem that there is no time to have courses, because when you have a time to do free diving, then that's also because it needs a lot of training if you want to be good. But so there have been like people wanted to go like many years, but there is like a couple of courses in Finland. Like in a year, but now I have had I just calculated that I have had like 62 courses.
In 1 year?
No, not in 1 year.
When do you sleep?
When I started, like, I don't know, before the Corona.
yeah. And of course then the Corona you had to stop. So anyway, in a short lapse of
But
time.
like I have like 6 or 7 or 8 courses in month now.
Yeah, that's a lot. But good to know. It is. I think it's a fascinating sport. Of course, I personally like sea animals and sea. And again, I'm from Italy, so the water in the Mediterranean, it's a sort like so clear and a lot of life. So I've always put together the free diving and this kind of adventure of seeing things. I've never done the thing just for the sake of going down or holding my breath, but
you have to come to our sea because like you can't see nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why.
But it doesn't matter because if you would see, there is nothing to see.
Yes. Unless we go to Saima or other places where there is more.
But anyway, it's nice to dive like eyes closed. This is kind of free diving paradise. You don't have to care about anything. You can just be with yourself.
You're selling me this quite nicely. I should try and become one of your students. But you have become also the trainer for the coach for the Finnish team.
Yeah, kind of.
What is kind of?
It's kind of that there is always someone helping the team But I'm not like a coach who says what you have to do in a team, but I'm there in the competitions to help everything, and when they do, because it's always freediving is like the working together with the coach and the diver.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's like I have been there in a competition, but it's not like I'm the coach of the Finnish team and say what they have to train.
Of course, coach. It's a wide word, because anyway, of course, I guess you have experience also just like talking and be present and preparing the brain of the people. It's also important, the attitude they have. And then you have other 2 world records. You have 3 world records. Am I correct? You have 2 world records. One is for the steady breath.
No, that's not correct.
Okay.
I don't know, but internet is full of like wrong things. But I have made in a distance.
Yes.
And it was like 2004, so
Yeah.
quite long time ago. And then I have 2 of those cold records, under ice records.
Because now we add an extra challenge on this, because because these records you broke this record diving under ice.
Yes.
How did it happen? How did you
What happened?
Yes, it's again, I still consider the sport relatively risky. So
yes.
why add a lead on top of your head so you cannot just come out whenever you want? For example, I see it as an extra risk. And then of course there is also the cold weather, so hypothermia or other risk factors connected to it. But how did it happen? How did you get to?
Couple of facts. In Finland, in a winter time, there is ice.
Yes.
So
We've
if you
noticed.
want to dive, you have to go under the ice. If you do deep diving, it doesn't. There is no kind of no. It's the same thing in the summertime. Yeah, because you have the rope, you're attached to rope.
So rope is attached at the top of the hole in the ice. And then you go down, there is some heavy weight, I guess, on the bottom, and then you just go up and down.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, like in a Finnish person, I think like deep diving, there is no difference in the summertime. You just have to be sure you are attached on the rope, and you have to take care of that. So don't get lost. Don't go under the ice without the ropes.
And not alone, I guess.
Not alone.
Yeah.
Don't ever free dive alone. Yeah. And then the cold water, if you do deep diving, like in the summertime in Finland, the surface water can be like 20 degrees. But when you go like in Päijänne, 15 meters, it drops to the 4 degrees. So it's
there is no big difference.
Yeah. So in the summertime, the water is also cold. So if you
just
want
a
to
bit deeper.
Yes. So if you want to free dive in Finland, it's cold around the year. Yes. And then, of course, like in Finland, when you do like normal free diving, you use the wetsuit. So you don't kind of have to deal with the cold water. But mentally,
yes.
Free diving in Finland, you are kind of used to
But
the
doesn't
cold.
the cold and the ice affect the way your body works?
Not if you have the free diving suit, then you stay warm, and if you are not used to the cold, then you have to stop when you get cold. Then it means that when you go training, you can train like 45 minutes, and summertime maybe 1 hour. That's the difference. But I started the going to do swim in a cold water because I made the record without the suit. So then it's totally different. But it was like 2010. I broke my leg very badly in a downhill biking accident.
Okay.
Which was not kind of downhill biking accident because I fell down, and it was the like smallest fell down ever.
Yeah.
And it was just like a bad luck.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that it's funny, but it's funny the fact that you practice anyway a dangerous sport and then you break your leg just biking.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But anyway, the trauma was big, and there was a big surgery, and it was very painful. And
did you break the thigh or the shin?
The shin.
The shin. Okay.
And like it
twisted.
Yeah. And they made a fasciotomia.
Oh, I don't know what's that, but I guess you have some plate and some screws now.
Yes, but before that, there was that the blood doesn't flow, and they have to open all the muscle kalavot. All like, those, and it was, and the leg was open, like there was a big wound.
Yeah, wound. Yeah.
Like both sides of the leg, like open, like 10 days. I could see it. That's what it means when they say that the muscle like
moves.
Yeah.
Contracts.
So I could see my muscles and stuff. So it was kind of interesting.
Yes.
I saw myself inside first time. Yeah, but it was it wasn't very easy mentally, and there was that big pain, and nerve pain stays in the leg. So after like 3 years of the accident, it was hurting.
Okay, really?
Like maximum pain all the time in my leg.
But you could walk still?
Yes. The first I have to kind of
relearn. Yeah.
But the pain was there, and like in the daytime it was okay, because it was like they saved my leg doing that operation.
Yeah.
And I was kind of happy that it's so nice that I have that pain in my leg, which I have still.
You still nowadays have?
Yes, if I don't go to the cold, the pain comes back. So it was big, but in the night times or when I was sad or something, it was just kind of, sometimes I had the feeling that I can't handle this pain.
Unbearable.
It's
understandable.
Yeah. So then one doctor says to me that there is kind of no proof or
scientific proof.
Yeah, but he knows that it have helped someone. Just go to the cold water. It doesn't have to be like -4. You just can go to the swimming center in a cold pool where it's like 8 or 10 or 12 degrees.
Yes.
And go there every day, 8 to 11 minutes.
Yes.
And like 3 months, see, maybe it helps, maybe not. And I went, and it helped. So I think there was the motivation was in the in the right place.
Yes.
Because first it was just kind of painful, but it already the pain was there. So
of course
it
you
didn't
try something new.
Yeah.
Of course you want to try to.
Yeah.
But and did you start go every day? Or?
Yes, I went every day, and then after like a couple of weeks, and after like 4 minutes when I put my leg there, I could feel only the coldness. So it was, this is so, there is no pain.
Away,
the cold feeling is so nice. If I compare it to the pain, yes. And then it caused like when I used to it went like, can I put another leg? Can I go a little bit deeper? Yeah. Can I dive here? Because I was a free diver. Yeah. So that's how it started. And then I made the first under ice world record. I made the way that I have a free diving friend who had that event here in Finland, ice diving event, and he said, Antero Joki, he said that that he's planning to make some Guinness World Record, some like not kind of a record, some diving with the suit and many person and like making a new discipline to get the record, to get to media coverage. Yes. And I said, that is stupid. Sounds very stupid. But I dive in a cold water every day. I stay 45 minutes. I dive
45 minutes every day?
Yeah, like 4 degrees. I dive many times in a day, 50 meters dive. So it's kind of world record. So if you want and you will arrange everything and I just can come.
And do your daily routine there.
Yes, I do my daily routine there. Yeah. So I can come. So Antero was nice and he organized everything and I just went there and I hopped in a ice hole and dived. So for me it doesn't matter because my dives are so safe kind. Because there is I don't care what's top of my head. It's free diving, so holding my breath long time in a cold water. So that's the that's the hard. That's the thing. I don't care if there is ice or not top of my head. Actually. It looks nicer.
But because you are so used to, because from outside, and then we can talk about your documentary and the next world record breaking. It adds some sort of tension and risk factors. Maybe you don't see them, and good for you, because otherwise
of course I see the risk factors, and it's very risky, and there are like I can say, if you don't know how to hold your breath and if you don't know how your body reacts for the cold, and don't do it.
Let's say to everyone, don't try this at home.
Never ever.
I like it's for me it's fascinating anyway that you have turned this accident and this situation from anyway something that could have been for the rest of your life a pain in the leg and something that would cripple you, like block you. Actually it became part of your life and part of your legacy in a sense.
Yeah, I'm so happy I broke my leg. You never know what it brings when something kind of bad happens. It always kind of put you in the next level, kind of.
Yes, but this is exactly the determination, this issue we were talking, that like you just then build up on that and then keep on pushing. And anyway, you could have stayed there 8 to 11 minutes, as the doctor said. But then you stay there 45 every day, you dive. I mean, you just go really like...
Yeah, but it's not like... I'm not kind of person who makes like a training schedule, or I plan before what I do, because I'm good because I like to go in the water. I have sometimes I have turned it the way that the most important thing in a training is to use time to figure out what gives you the motivation, because when the motivation is up, you get the results. But actually I'm just doing what is fun. Like my plan was not to do the world record in a ice diving at the first place. It was just I was going to the pool because in a swimming center there was an outside pool and it was so nice. It was like diving in a Mynton. and the light was so nice, and inside there was all those families and kids and noise and everything. And when I go outside, the pool was empty just for me, or just one old lady sometimes there. And it was like nice, and I like it. And gives me like the free diving mostly. It makes me happy, and that's why I go in the water every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't feel it like it would be your job, or it would be, I don't know, something that you have to do in the schedule.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, like today morning I woke up in 5:30, 6 o'clock. We went out with the boat. It was so stormy.
Yes.
And the
today
big
it's really
waves
windy.
and the water comes, flashes, and we were wet before we stopped to swim. And then we swim and ate the breakfast and drink our morning coffee and then back to the day, and after that I do that like every morning.
So I guess you also are you use cold every day because of your leg, and you like it. Do you?
Because the water is cold. Like today morning, it was cold.
But you go always
not so cold, but cold.
But you always go to the sea, or do you? If it's a day in which you cannot go to the sea, do you just stay in the shower under the cold shower?
No, I hate the cold showers.
How can you say that?
It feels so cold. I like the long, warm showers.
Okay. This was a surprise.
The cold water, it goes like... You know the feeling of the cold shower. You like the cold showers.
No, well, it depends.
I think
when it's after sport, for example, after sauna. Yes, but in the morning, I will never take a cold shower because I feel like this kind of...
Never force yourself in a cold shower.
No, I feel like I'm shrinking. I'm becoming like really small and But coming from you, that cold shower, it's terrible. It's something. Yeah. Yeah. But still,
I think because many people go to cold showers because there is those health benefits. But I don't think if you have to force yourself anything, there is no benefits.
No, it's true. It's true. It's a stress, actually. Yeah. But in some situation, for example, I like a lot as a foreigner that it's something that, of course, I learn in time to go to the ice after sauna, avanto.
Yeah, because
I like that a lot.
Yeah, because it's nice.
Yes. So this kind of hot and then the cold shock, it's something that I know it's beneficial. So it helps me to say like, okay, I'm doing something good, but I really like the feeling. So it doesn't bother me to do it. Yeah, but I don't roll in the snow, for example. That I don't like. So the cold, it's even colder, but I don't feel that forcing it's anyhow giving me some mental stress.
Yeah.
That, like,
and it's the same in the breath holding. You can hold your breath if you want to. If you have to, it's a different story. Yeah. And maybe I like to play with the thing which makes me, which is what things are the things I want to do, and when those same things I want to do goes to the other side of the border that I have to do.
Yeah.
And how I can, because it happens every time when I go to the competition. First, I want to go to the competition because I want to, because it's nice and fun, and you see your friends there, and you really have the idea that it would be nice to see how long I can dive, and then when I go to the competition and the competition comes closer, I get to the point that I can't understand why I'm going there because I don't want to, and now I have to force myself to hold my breath, and then I have to work with myself to find it again, the feeling that
the same attitude and feeling.
And I think it's the thing that I'm trying to, whatever happens, how nervous I am, or how many things go wrong, and or how many, like, all the circumstances can be like different places. So I try to learn how to turn myself that I don't have to care about those, because I can try to do my best in the place where I am, or then. And maybe that's why I like the competition. I think.
But can I ask you, what else is in your life? I mean, now you say that every day you go and dive, and you are taking the boat out, and it's so early in the morning. Do you have life, or do you have kids, family? Do you work only on free diving as an instructor? Do you do any other things?
I have a son.
Yeah.
22 years old.
Okay, so
I have been a single mom, so
congratulations.
So earlier, when I made my first world record, it was because I was living outside of Helsinki, like 40 minutes driving, and there was a traffic jams in the morning. And when I in the morning drive my son to the daycare, if I was late like 5 minutes of the timetable, then it means that I'm stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
So I can stay in a Kirkkonummi swimming pool like 45 minutes, and I'm in the same time at the work. So because with the little kids, every morning happens something different.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And you are late.
Yes, always.
So
late.
I was training in every morning. So a lot of training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and yes, I have work, and I'm an animation artist, and I had my advertising company. I made more like a kid stuff. Yeah. I have made like not like advertising, because in Finland you can't advertise for the children, but those concepts like for the bank or like Sokos Hotellit, Onniorama.
Okay. Yes.
I have designed, or the hiihtokeskusyhdistys.
Yeah.
Like ski.
Yeah.
That Werneri rabbit who teach all the Finnish kids to those kind of stuff. So I like to draw.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. This artistic side.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah. But still, all the time, the free diving and diving has been part of your routine.
Yeah, and when yes, my passion, and the most I like the deep diving, because it's the most kind of going deep and hold your breath. I think it's the nicest thing, but I'm not very good in the deep diving. I have went like 56 meters or something, but never get any medals or stuff like that. It takes
But is it
too
the
much.
challenge? Is it the challenge that you like, the going down, or what it's down there? Empty.
You can't kind of lie to yourself. You can't say that I'm not nervous if you are, or you can
so
like find you can
you're
find
truly yourself.
Yes, and I have to accept that kind of that. I don't know how to say it. You have to try it.
I know, it's fascinating. What is it about you free dive? Do you have fins, or do you just go with bare legs, or do you have the fins to go down?
Yes, it depends. I can go with the fins or without the fins. In a competition, there is those rules. So
there are two different categories, right? Yeah. But still, 56, it's the maximum.
Yeah, that's with the fin.
With the fin.
Okay. Yeah, and it wasn't in a competition. And I have tried to get the white card in a competition many times.
What
the
is
50 meter.
50 meter.
Yes, because there is, of course, the rules, and there is a judge who decide was that okay or not.
Yeah, because you go down the rope and there are different flags you have to carry up.
Yeah, there is a one. You in a deep diving, you say beforehand that what is your depth.
Goal.
Yeah. And then you go there, and there is a tag, and you took it and go up, and when you come up, you have like in an either competition, you have like 15 seconds time to breathe, take off your mask, make the okay sign, and say I'm okay. And if you can't do that in a perfectly in a 15 seconds, then
it's not
qualified. Yeah.
Isn't it so that it can happen that you come up and then you breathe but you faint, or you just that you coming up, I don't know what is the reason, but you can faint even for the fact that you take oxygen then back in.
Yeah, it's very important how you breathe after the dive.
Yes.
We call it like hook breathing.
Hook breathing.
Yeah,
okay.
because there is like two things when you what is that? When you breathe in your belly,
Yeah.
like with the diaphragm,
Yes.
it affects your parasympathetic
Yeah.
nerve.
Parasympathetic
Yes,
system. Yes.
yes,
Nervous
system, and then you like calm down.
Yes.
And when you breathe in your chest,
Mm.
powerful, it like your heartbeat goes up and blood pressure goes up and
And that can cause that you shut down.
no, it causes that you are not going to shut down. So if you do a proper breathing, you won't black out after the.
And so not to black out, you have to breathe from the chest.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
To
Okay.
get the oxygen as quick as possible to the.
Yeah.
To the. But of course, there is many things affects the pressure, and there is also kind of that shallow water blackout, which is because when the pressure goes.
Yeah, because you go down and there is more pressure.
The pressure, yes.
So your lungs become smaller.
Yeah, lungs become smaller, and the pressure helps you. It helps your kind of your blood pressure. And if you come up too fast, like you do, as I heard,
some 10 meters, yes.
Yeah, then the pressure drops very, very fast. And if you come up and the stupidest thing to do if you come up from the long dive is to breathe your lungs empty.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then the blood pressure drops,
Yeah.
and when your blood pressure drops, you lose your conscious.
Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah, yeah. Is it? I mean, I know it's true because I read it, but how does it feel? Because there is a point, certain depth, in which when you dive, you reach the depth, and then you just fall down like a rock loop.
Yeah.
So what is the threshold? What is the depth?
It depends how much you put the weights. So basically, there is no. If you take like 20 kilos, it starts to sink in the surface. So don't do that.
No, but because
because in a freedive, if you go like 10 meters, and you are just freediving, I think it's important that from the 10 meter you have the buoyant and you still come up.
Yeah.
So if something happens, at least you are in a surface.
Yeah.
So someone can save you if they know where you are.
Yeah.
And if you go 20 meters, I think the good place to be neutral buoyancy is like 15 meters. But if you go deeper, it's good that you come up from the 20 meters at least.
Yeah.
Because then it means that first you have to dive in at 20 meters, and then you start to sink.
Yeah,
and then you turn in the bottom, and then you dive to the 20 meters, and when you get the buoyant, then you don't do anything. You come slow and do
just
like
float.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's like an elevator.
And you just say, please go fast, elevator. No.
It's like, oh, it's so nice.
and because this is pretty important. It's something that of course everyone has to understand. People understand that you have to go back up, so you have to have the same energy / oxygen to also make the travel back.
Yes.
So how do you know when it's kind of like the tank it's empty, half empty? When you go down to 56, you went to 56, and then did you say like, oh, okay, I have half tank full?
No, I don't have to care about that because I'm not very good in deep diving. Because in a distance, I can go with my fin in a swimming pool. My personal best is 192 meters. Yeah. And now if we think that I have to only dive in 20 meters, and then I do kind of a static, and I just sink, and then I turn, and I come up, I suppose I can dive safely like 100 meters, but I can't go there because I lose my relaxation, I get nervous and then I can't equalize, so I can't go there.
Okay.
It's difficult to go down and easy to come up. So I can go as deep as I can,
Yeah.
and I know I can always come up.
Because then you will just flow up.
Yeah, but the distance is not very.
Yeah.
It's not the thing.
Yeah.
It's the most difficult thing is to stay relaxed the way down.
Why you lose your relaxation?
I don't know. It's so dark there. And the sea monsters. And I can't see that.
But don't you dive with the eyes closed? No. Yeah.
No, I don't know. There is a lot of things, and it's funny because when you hold your breath and you go deep, the things come so quickly that first you are 1 second everything is fine and you are relaxed, and after 1 second you're not.
I guess you like anyway this challenge, this feeling.
Yeah, I
That's
like.
what
Yes,
drives you.
yes.
Yeah. But again, how do you know when you dive deep enough that you know you have still stored enough oxygen to go back up? How do you know that was enough? Because if you don't have enough oxygen, you just go back. You come back up at 10 meters from the surface. You don't have any oxygen and you faint. How do you know? Do you go with a clock and you say, like, you know that, like, I have 3 minutes oxygen? Do you have some way to measure how much oxygen you still have left, or do you just go by practice?
It's those little feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I have to learn how it feels in every kind of second. I have to. It's like a raw data comes from kind of our body, and then, of course, we tell a story about that always, and it depends what kind of story you tell. Like if you are telling the story that now it feels that I would like to breathe. Someone tells the story that I'm run out of oxygen, now I'm dying, I have to come up. Or someone tells the story that okay, yes, good thing, now my body starts to save the oxygen.
Yeah.
So it depends, so you have to learn. I think everyone has the little signs, different signs, but I don't know, because no one have and make a word for that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's that feeling.
I think it's,
how I feel
yeah.
when I have to come up. Yeah, and every discipline in a static breath holding, the feeling is different. In a dynamic apnea, it's different, and in a deep diving, it's different. But in a deep diving, I don't have that problem because I have never run out of oxygen.
It's just the fact that you are nervous.
Yes, it's that I have to turn and then I can come up as low as I want. But of course, if I would go to the doing some fun dives, going to bottom, looking for the fishes, then I'm very prepared. I'm coming up very early, kind of.
Yeah.
Because then I can go back. There is no point to make the maximum dives.
Yeah, stress there. Yeah. How many dives can you do in a row if you do like an intense one? Like you try to reach the 50. Can you just do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, or is it like that your body gets tired?
Yeah, if I do my maximum, like doing like 50 meters, so then I can like make my warm-ups and try once.
Yeah.
But if I do like 30 meters, which is kind of easy for me, then I can continue as long as I want to.
Yeah.
And if I do like 40 meters, I can do like 2, 3, 4. It depends how much I have been trained.
So 30 meters is like 10 floor of an apartment. So it's quite a lot.
It depends how you think about it.
I think 3 meters high, like each floor. So if you think like out from from the water how much it is that you dive. It's actually quite a lot if you make it feel so easy.
Yeah, but if you think that you are walking like 30 meters and back.
Yeah. You are not surrounded by water and you're not. Yeah. But it's good. I understand your attitude. It's kind of like it's a walk in the park and it's not a problem. Yeah. If we go back to the ice and you starting to get accustomed and loving the ice, loving the feeling, making the first world record almost as not as an accident, but it was an activity for you just to have fun because you like anyway to have this pleasure out of it. Still, then you decided that you wanted to push it forward.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's interesting. Because when I made that 50 meters...
Did you wear a suit when you made the first one?
No, only a swimming suit.
Only a swimming suit?
No. Yeah. So when I made the first one, I get curious how long I actually could go, because it wasn't kind of any kind of record short of.
It was your routine.
So I was curious that, okay, if I train this, I could go a lot more, but how much more? And then I have my friend Stig Severinsen have that record, like 86 meters, like which is like nothing. And we are always we are kind of teasing with Stig that. So I was teasing Stig that I said that I'm going to break a record. Yes, that was one thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, but the main thing was that, okay, if I do a preparation, if I train, if I try to do my best, it would be interesting to see how long I can go, and interesting to see which are the things which are going to kind of limit, and which are the true risks, and what makes what will make it difficult. Because I knew if you're trying to do the maximum, it will never be easy.
Of course, no, you like challenges. Yeah.
So, and that was the interesting part. Which things would be the most hardest thing in the project. So I supposed to do it like a year earlier. So actually, it was the hardest thing I have ever done, because I trained and I supposed to do it like year earlier. But then Ian Derry, who's the director of the Netflix documentary, he asked, "Can you move it like one year, because he would like to do the document about your record."
So this is you just to tell you, there is a Netflix one documentary about this process that you broke the record, and it was shoot live, correctly?
Yes.
Yeah. So no one knew if you were going to break the record or not.
Yeah.
So the documentary could have ended up with you going away with an ambulance.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. I saw. What year was it? This 2000 and what was when you made the record?
I can't remember. You have to check it somewhere.
Yeah, let me see what.
Anyway, I supposed to. It's a couple of years ago, maybe 3.
Yeah, 2002, 2001.
2000.
Yeah,
no,
2001, 18th of March.
Hey, the record was, the first one was 2015, and that was like maybe 3 years later, 2018.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Oh, yes,
no, 2019.
2021, you set a new record, ice swimming record by diving 103 meters.
Yes. So where was I?
No, but yes, that you were talking with the director.
Yeah, yes. So
did you start this thinking like, okay, I test myself, I want to know the limit, I challenge myself, and then you thought like, let's make a documentary out of it?
No, it was like like Ian Derry, the director, he's a friend of my sister.
Okay.
So they both are like photographers, and that's why they know each other. And
they know you were crazy enough to attempt this.
yes, and Ian have free dived like year 2005, and he's interested about the free diving, and he wanted to made a short movie about my ice diving. And he made it like 2016, 15, 16, yes. 17. I don't know. I can't remember the years.
around those times.
Yeah, but and he made like 3 minutes short movie. I'm walking on the ice with a sled and going to dive and it went kind of viral.
Yeah,
and it got like 50 million views. So
there was interest, of course.
Yeah, and it was it was very beautiful, and that's he was wondering that he would like to make a proper documentary, and it was Ian's almost the first short movie because he was a still photographer.
Yeah,
and then he started to make the short movies, and also the Netflix document was the first longer. It wasn't the full movie.
It was really nice. It's really well done.
Yeah, and the pictures are very, very, very beautiful.
It starts with really calm atmosphere, and then there is this build up at the end when the day of the attempt comes. It is. I think it is really well done because you actually. I was like, I was sitting and watching it. At the end, I was like on my knees on the carpet on the floor. So I was kind of like, yeah, go, swim.
Yeah, and I think it was like edited in a very nice way. The world record, the attempt part, because I was also that. I hope she can do it. I hope she can do it.
So you put so much pressure on you because you had also the camera and everything, but
But it was like
and you talk about being stressed, and you did that.
It was very stressful because I trained already. Because there is
the year before.
Year before. So because when you train, you can't work the full time, so you need some kind of money. So I use my savings. And I already trained a year, and then we made a plan. Okay, because Ian asked, and I thought, okay, it might be nice. It might be nice that someone document what. And I know he sees the things because I think he's the only person who have took the kind of the pictures under the ice that sees it. It looks as beautiful as I see it.
Yes, and then if he is a free diver himself, of course he has knowledge.
And then there was that Teemu Liakka was filming the short movie, and now there was the French guy. I can't remember his name.
Well, not a problem.
But anyway,
he
was very good. Yeah, very talented. Very, very, very talented. And then I trained another year, and then I get sick, maybe corona, and it lasts, and then like a couple of weeks before the
attempt.
The attempt, we have to cancel it. And then was the quarantine, and couldn't really train. I was like, there was like the real challenge of the life and the works and the kids at home, no school, the real life, because making the attempt it's just for kind of fun stuff. And then after like 1 month before I actually did the attempt, I didn't know is it going to happen or not. So it was like I wasn't training in 1 year. I wasn't preparing I didn't know would it happen.
Okay.
I kind of lost my motivation because it wasn't kind of important anymore, and it was like more like
yeah, some
I just have to do this, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So that made me it was very interesting path.
Yeah, but still you broke the record, so I guess.
Yeah, but that was an accident.
Yeah, no accident.
No, but no,
you trained anyway 2
yeah,
years.
Yeah,
kind of,
I
so,
trained,
yeah.
and I knew, but actually at first I supposed to dive like 83 meters.
Yeah.
Because Stig Severinsen had done like 76, and then there was a couple of people made on not the real record, on unofficial record.
Yeah.
And I thought I do 80 and something, yes. And
but you
the
still
film
made the
crew
extra
was
holes.
yeah, but yes, but that wasn't my decision. Yeah, and then the film crew was always talking about that I'm going to break the men's world record. And then in the Corona year, they made some unofficial records and some other official records with kind of no rules and then the best one was like 102 meters.
Men.
Actually, that was a woman, but there was
was not official.
It was not official, and it was the kind, because it depends how you do it. And there was also that earlier I made a Guinness World Record, so the Guinness have a different rules for the record. And in that year, like 1 month before, it was still a discussion because I think the Guinness record is the record if there is no actual federation who makes the real records. Like you can't do the Guinness record of the 100 meters run because there is actually the
an association that controls.
Yeah. And there was that CMAS, and they were thinking that maybe they should what is that word? To make the ice diving record official.
Yeah.
But they have a different rules. So I didn't train because I didn't know what to train.
Yeah, the rules were different. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know the rules. Because there is a big difference in the Guinness where you can not use the neck weight, the weights.
Yes.
When you do the distance. And with the CMAS, where of course it's the free diving discipline, you can use the weights.
Well, why would you use the weight if you just go forward?
Because if you fill your lungs, you are buoyant. Yeah. So if you go slow, you float up.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the weights, it means that you have to all the time go dive
yes, of course.
down.
Yeah.
And then you
make resistance.
Yes,
so you go
so it's very big.
Yeah.
So if you go without the weights, you can't fill your lungs properly, because then it's more important to get the
stable.
Yeah.
Yeah. The floating
so when
point.
you kick, you float. You don't.
Yeah.
And
so did you have a weight when you made the record?
I was very lucky. Because if you go without the weight, you really have to train. It's not something comes like naturally. You have to know exactly in what deep you're going to dive, how much you're going to breathe in, and what are all those things. You have to kick a bit differently. And so I was lucky because it was a CMAS record, so there was it was
weights.
allowed to use the weights.
Yeah. And still you were supposed to just dive 80 something, 85, 86. And then without even wanting to do it almost, the crew is there. So you had to call some judges to come and check.
Yes.
They had to follow the whole thing,
Yeah, and it was the same, the Antero Joki.
Yeah.
and he was the judge, and he organized everything for the attempt.
Yes.
And also all the safety divers.
Yes.
Antero organized them.
Yeah, yeah.
And also there was a team, because we made it in Lake Öllöri. Because we were filming that is that if the snow comes off of the ice, it's dark down there. So there was a team taking the snow off all the year.
Just for you.
Yeah, just for me. Isn't that nice? Because when I went there, it was so beautiful. It was like, because the light came through the.
Yeah, the filming. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's paradise.
Yeah, it's like and when you look it in the down, it's like a lentokenttä.
Like an airport.
Yeah, like
I think it was like a tunnel, like a green tunnel.
So it was very beautiful.
Yeah, I wonder how does it look, because anyway, I've seen the documentary, and I've seen frozen lakes, and I've seen these kind of pictures and all like the landscape before, but I think as an outsider, maybe someone who lives in, I don't know, in Jamaica, when it's always sun, and think like, look, this lady, she's going under 60 centimeters of ice. Look, how does it look? It's kind of like paradise, but of course it's kind of like a trap. You think that like, what the fuck is she doing? Why in the hell that she woke up one day and said, why no?
I want to do this.
But they had so they made holes on every 20 meters or something.
Yeah.
Right? And then of course at the end they were like
in 10 meters.
In 10 meters. And then there was a cable running through.
Yeah.
Because you were anyway attached to a safe line.
Yeah. There was two cables. The one cable I can see and I can follow, and one cable I'm attached to.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so that is not like many people think that I'm jumping one ice hole and then I try to find my way to another. No, not like that.
yeah, but there are people that have done crazy, stupid things and also died doing that. Because,
yeah.
And I also know of one guy that loves, it's an Holland guy from Holland, and he's in love with cold, and all his philosophy in life, it's around cold. Anyway, he did an attempt in Finland, and he freezed his retina of the eyes, and he couldn't then see where to go, and they had to go down and save him.
Yes.
So there are dangers, my friend. Here.
There is. Yeah. I never said that there are dangers. I said that the flying the helicopter is very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. There is many dangers.
But how do you know that you don't freeze your retina, your eyes?
I'm using a mask. Okay. And the main thing was at first it was like. I said that we are not. Okay, my plan was do the world record attempt. Yeah. So, just making it for myself with my friends, stuff like that. It was like I have a 1 day time to try that. And when they planned the documentary, I said, okay, because of the safety reason, I need at least 4 days because I can't go there. And if there is something wrong, I can't make a decision.
Yeah, on the spot.
Is it the big or small? Can I continue? Because so it's all. It is like that. If something doesn't go as I planned, I come up.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So there is no dangers because if my retina will froze, I will stop and wait. And there are my safety-free divers, and they will took my up.
Did you agree on a sign that you would do to ask for help?
Pardon?
Did you agree on some signs that you would do? If
yes,
you would need
of
help?
course, yes. Okay. And they are my friends. I have been free diving. Then
okay,
they seems like.
What is the sign?
They know if something is wrong.
Okay. I don't know. You put the thumbs down.
No, no. Because if there is something going wrong, I will come up from the next hole.
Yeah.
So the most things I can understand in the beginning of the dive, if there is something wrong in my breathing, or if I can't like relax and there is some problems. And of course there is no, anyway. I can understand the problem,
the situation you are in.
Yeah, and also in a breath holding and in the cold water, because I have stayed so many.
Yeah, you know
so many things. So there is not many things that can be like.
Yeah, you have all these.
Oh, this happened.
Yeah,
I couldn't realize.
Yeah, surprises.
Yeah.
You have all these factors, even if they are risky and they are dangerous and unknown to other people. You know them. You can manage them one by one.
And if there is a possibility that there is a risk, then I will come up too early, kind of.
Did you think? I remember, because anyway, in the documentary, it was striking me how anyway you were swimming, and the stroke were always the same. You were really relaxed and going forward. It was kind of like you would take it really easy, and I was thinking like how that this woman can keep herself like as a whole and focused and meditate in that sense, like for so long, and not getting I don't know, stressed. It was looking like you were really handling and on top of your game. Did you, when you were stroking the last, because you went over what you were supposed to do, did you think like just, okay, I'm fine with this, I continue, or did you put in your head, I want to go there?
Yeah, that's the biggest fear, that I was calling to my old friend day before that. And I said that there is two options.
Dying is not one.
I'm jumping in a ice hole, and I just force myself to go, and I won't come up, even if I should.
Yes.
And then I die. Yes.
Okay.
Or the other option is I jump in the ice hole and I come up the next one, the first one, and I will die in a shame.
20 meters, yes.
Yes. And my friend says, come up in the first ice hole if something is wrong, and go to the corner and cry some while, and then everything is fine. And I thought, that's true. So, okay, my plan was not to do the record. I was going through beforehand. First, it was that 103 meters is with the neck weight. Yeah. If I can dive with that, it's easy. And then after Corona, and then after everything, I was stressed. Do I really have to do this kind of thing? And then I wanted to do it. We have like filmed many years, the big. Yeah, I don't want to give up. Yes, yeah. Whatever happens, I don't want to give up. And the other thing was that holding your breath to the maximum, if you have to, it's not very nice. So both of those, like every other week, I was thinking that I'm not going to do it. I don't know, is it going to happen? We don't know the rules. We don't know, is there any kind of stressful. Can the film crew come here? Yeah. And do we have a budget, or can we? What happens?
Yeah, but it's really stressful, and you still pulled it off.
Yeah, and every other week I was thinking that if it's going to happen, just jump in the ice hole, make your dive as best as you can, come up, and that's it.
Again, your philosophy. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I realized that it's more than possible, that because I'm so stressed and I'm so nervous and I feel that I kind of have to do it, and I couldn't find any other reason why should I do it.
That you had promised to do it.
Yeah, I promised to do it, and I put so much effort to do it that I thought that I'm not going to make the record. But I was thinking that, maybe the documentary would be more nice and interesting if I don't do it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And because I didn't train, I didn't know the rules, so I made a plan. And my plan was that I can't try to do the world record. I know I can dive 60 meters, whatever happens. If everything goes wrong, I still can. It's easy for me.
Yeah.
So I have to dive first 60 meters. And then in that point, in that second, I have to make the decision, can I do like 20 meters more? And in that point, I have to decide, can I do 10, 11 meters more? And like that.
One hole at a time.
Yes. You can't and that's always the same thing. I have done this so many years, and every time I fell in the same trap. Is that because in free diving you have to stay in the moment.
Yeah.
You can't do and the thing which can mess your
attempt
is that you are going to look too forward. Maybe that's why it's so interesting how to put yourself in that moment. So I dived in the 60 meters and I thought that, okay, it wasn't perfect, but I can do like 20 meters more. And then I think, okay, I can do it. And the fact is that really I should have come up in the safety lines. I should have come up in a 90 meters.
Why should I?
Because I wanted to know that I still have 20 more meters to go when I come up. And I realized that I don't have 20 more meters. But I realized that now I have that 20 more meters.
Yeah.
But I have to dive 10 meters. So in that decision, to make that kind of decisions under the ice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it went fine. It was okay.
You bet. It was kind of a bet at that moment.
No, it wasn't a bet because I know that I can do 20 more meters.
Yeah, okay.
But I make a decision that, okay, 10 meters safety line is enough.
Yeah.
But it was there was so many things.
Yeah.
There was so many things, and I made that decision that I'm doing it now because otherwise I have to do it again tomorrow. And I'm not going to come here tomorrow. So go, if you can go.
Yeah.
If you can't go, come up. If you can go.
Yeah. This speaks of the knowledge you have of yourself anyway. So many years of training. So of course you knew. Again, there are risks there, but it's not a bet because you know yourself. So it is not just playing with your life. You were not playing.
Yeah, and I knew that I don't want to black out in a cold water. So I have a very big kind of safety marginal.
Yes, margin. Yeah. Does your record still hold?
Yeah, for it's the women's world record still.
Are you going to attempt a new one?
Why should I? I made my best. I couldn't go further.
Yeah, I don't know. Because you still push yourself the extra 10 meters, and then still I don't know. It's. I think that some people, or maybe I don't know, but some people then get accustomed to the adrenaline and to push themselves, push.
Yeah.
So it seems that this doesn't belong to you because you approach these things like that it has to be something you like to do, and it has to be that you're enjoying the thing that you're doing.
Yeah, and there was also a part that project was not only my kind of world record attempt. It was like something I can hang with my sister.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying. Yes, and then you were teasing your friend.
Yeah, teasing my friend. Like the first world record I made, we made a bet with that same Antero Joki. I have been diving with him since like 2003.
Yeah.
So I trust those people.
For sure.
And the whole group and all the free divers kind of. I couldn't never ever do it by myself.
Yeah, I understand there is a big
and
people.
and I forget
the bet you were betting with
Antero.
Antero.
With Antero of the ice cream, because I said that I'm going to make a world record, and he said no, you're not, and we have a bet. And I got my ice cream.
Oh, sweet.
So, but it's what was the first thing I was thinking about?
Yeah, that you are a group of people and you're not able to do this alone.
Yeah, and I was doing it with my
sister.
With my sister, and it's more like it's not that I make the goal and then I do something to reach the goal. It's more like I do what I want to do, and then I figured out, I can do this. I can make a world record, and then I can go and kind of make it official.
Yeah,
and more like that.
Yeah. I actually I've got this this tip from one Finnish gymnastic teacher.
Yeah.
For that she was teaching gymnastic for the team, for the world team, for the team that represented Finland in the World Olympics, and she was saying to me that they train the athletes so that they do day by day the things that they like. They try to, of course, push all the time certain limits, but they have to enjoy all the time what they do, and then at one point it becomes clear whether they can attempt some Olympics or if they are really good at something. But start the process and the project thinking like, you go to the Olympics in 4 years. That puts so much pressure on the athlete that
so
they break down. There is nothing fun. Every day feels like heavy, and then there is emotional stress, and then of course it affects the body, and then they just arrive there that they are like so tense that they fail. So it is powerful this thing of like building day by day, enjoying what you do, and then you discover that actually your potentials can bring you there. It's a discovery. It's not like set the goal.
But the boat, I think the boat, I'm so lucky because of the corona. I get the both. First, kind of, I wanted to do it, and then I had the cold. The cold. And then I have tried to kind of reach it.
Were you afraid that the corona had affected your lungs and your way of?
Yeah, I was afraid.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you were anyway practicing and doing all.
Yeah, and there was.
Anyway.
I get that. Yeah, it was kind of scary, and it was kind of that. I can't.
Uncertainty.
Yeah. Oh, should I do it because I have a little cough, or what if there is something more and they don't know and something happens, and but it was nice that it was cancelled. I didn't have to make the decision by myself.
Yeah, on that spot, in that moment. Yeah. Isn't it so that now you also became digital? You have an app, isn't it?
Yes, I have an app. I have that earlier also. It's the thing I have made. Kind of, I made the first pilot like many years ago. It's more like for my students to learn breath holding before they come to the courses, because they are like there is nothing to be kind of be nervous that if you can't hold your breath before you come to course, but people get stressed. I can't come because I can't hold my breath. So it was made by them that, okay, you do this, and then you realize that you can hold your breath.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
there is like
preparation.
It's like preparation, and then it's also because there is no kind of time in a course we are just going to basic stuff. So there is no like training. So if someone wants to train the breath holding, then there is the program.
Yeah, you cannot develop everything for everyone specifically. What is the name of the app?
It's the breath manual.
Yeah, good we say, so people can go and find it. And what is your freediving school? The name?
It's the Freediving Helsinki. Freediving Helsinki. Yes.
Freediving Helsinki.
I'm a free diver. I can't remember anything.
Actually, because I follow you on Instagram, and of course I've been checking around you, and thinking about this podcast. Then I got actually a lot of publicity from your company coming. I've seen your name in the advertisement a few times.
Yeah. I'm doing that's almost my only advertising. Facebook advertising.
Yeah, but I went and checked around, and now after this I am much more intrigued and thinking that why not? I should find time for this also.
Yeah, but it's nice because you don't have to become a freediving athlete going to like the maximum dives. It gives you so much. There is a lot of like a normal person, just the swimmers and the people who don't like to swim and they would like to play in the water. And paddlers and surfers and the basic the beginner's course. It's like you learn how to walk in the water. You don't have to go to the Olympics.
Sure.
And it gives you it gives so much that if you go swim and you actually can dive in 5 meters. So it's
I like this this idea of this that it's almost meditation, and the fact that you are there with yourself and you listen to your body when you're there. I think that is, for me, it's really attractive. Something that anyway I've been practicing like this a bit more as a sport and diving for fishes and snorkeling. But it is really attractive. But still, I feel that there is some danger.
Yes, of course there is dangers, and there are more dangers if you don't go to the freediving course.
Let's all
so
go to
if you don't know, because everyone understands that if you like, it's like a rough truth. But if you lose your conscious in a water and you are alone, it's a 100% sure that you will die.
That's the end.
So absolutely. That's why if you want to stay in the water and like to play in the water, I think it's stupid not to learn what are the risks, why you can lose your conscious, what is the most common, what do you think, what is the most common
mistake?
Mistake, reason why people lose their consciousness, they black out in the water.
Well, for sure, because I guess because also how you look at me when I said I just come up as a crazy missile up. So I guess that's the...
That's one reason, but that's not the most common.
Okay. Well, from my small experience anyway, I try to understand what is that I have to have time to go back up so that I don't consume too much oxygen going down. And then, of course, because I go maybe down when I go for fishes, maybe only like 5-6 meters, I can see how tired I get. So I guess that if people are not so conscious, you might think that you can perform all the time at the same, but you can't. But I'm not sure. You tell me now what is the...
The most common reason to black out is hyperventilation before you go diving.
Okay.
Because if you hyperventilate the carbon dioxide out of your body, then it doesn't feel anything. And if you don't know what happens, people think that, oh, this is going very great. It feels so good. It doesn't feel like I'm diving.
And then switch off.
Yeah, and then clip.
That's why CO2 is our friend.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, thank you, Johanna, for this nice conversation. I think you are too humble. You always say that, no, I just did this and it felt good, but
it wasn't even important.
Yes, it was almost a mistake, but I think that came through that actually you have a really nice attitude towards this that you are doing, because you want to enjoy it and still see a bit forward and go forward. So there is a drive there that helped you reach what you did, and I hope that again you will surprise us with something.
Maybe like the warm bubble bath.
Bubble bath.
Bubble bath world record.
You can invent that, and maybe you get another record. Okay, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.